Golden Gate Park, San Francisco, US 101, Redwood Forest, Beverly Hills, LA Freeway, Death Valley, Arizona, Grand Canyon, Iowa, Chicago, Indiana, Appalachia, Washington, D.C. I gotta be really careful my wife doesn't hear that. I don't want to risk having a third kid. Cruis'n USA, man. This is the third game of the series of games that I grew up with. My earliest games I ever played. The other ones being Mario 64 and Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Those games I have videos just like this one on my channel, so check those out after this and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Now, Cruis'n USA has been a very interesting experience playing this in 2026 because honestly, I thought this was going to be a big nothing burger. Out of the three games, it was the one I was kind of least excited for. It was just like, oh, you know what, this is probably going to be like a weekend little thing where I just play it a couple times and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, what else am I going to say about it? Like, yeah, it's really fun. It's a little arcade racer that, if you play with a buddy and you can have a good weekend out of it, get some nostalgia racing going or something like, if you have a game night, back in the day with N64, you would like get together with friends and you wouldn't just play one game, you'd play multiple games, switch the cartridges in and out. And it's like, yeah, you can just have fun doing a race and Cruis'n USA and it's just a fun time. And that's kind of where I thought like this video was going to end up going. And actually turned out to just be way, way, way more than that. I feel like it all started with like, yeah, I sat down and I did the race of, across the USA. I did my 14 tracks. You have to get first place in each race to move on to the next one. And at the very end of it, you unlock a new car. So the game starts out with 4 different cars, and then, you beat the race across the USA. Once you finish, you unlock a new car, and it says that you get the next unlock if you beat the game on medium difficulty. And so, and the new car unlock, it's just like a different color palette of the car, right? So, if the car is red, it's like maybe blue or something. Nothing crazy. It says it's faster, but I don't know if I believe that. And so I was like, okay, cool. There's some unlocks in this game. That gives me like something to do. I'll play through it on for each of the 4 cars and unlock all the cars. And there's actually technically 5 difficulties in this game, but you only unlock the new cars on if you beat on easy, medium, and hard, or level 1, 3, and 5. So there's really no point to the difficulties 2 and 4. And actually, I'll get into it later. I don't think there's any point in the difficulty in this game at all, really. But yeah, so like, yeah, that's how I started. I was like, okay, cool. Like that'll give me some more time to get familiar with the courses. Cause first time playing through, it's like, it's all like, whatever. I don't really understand. I couldn't name off the courses. Right. And so like, I'm like, yeah, it'll be more interesting if I could name off the courses by memory and know each of the courses and really understand the tracks versus just like playing through it once. But like, yeah, it's a cool game, cool little arcade racer on the N64, something to make this maybe more interesting. And so, yeah, that's how I kind of started this little journey. And I did a little Googling. I'm like, what are the Cruis'n USA unlocks? Just to see if there was anything else besides that. And I kept seeing talk about a school bus and a police car and an ATV. I'm like, what? And it was just saying that there was like a secret code, like a cheat code or whatever, that if you hold the up C, down C, and left C while you're selecting cars, that some of the cars will turn into a school bus, a police car, or an ATV. And it's funny because those cars, it's like, my son, he's just a little toddler. He loves school buses and police cars and ATVs. And so I'm like, oh, that'd be really cool if like I show him N64 games in the future. Be like, hey, we could play this game and we can drive around it and race as a school bus or something. You might really get a kick out of that. So I went down and immediately tried doing that. And I'm playing on the Analogue 3D. And I actually really do like the 8BitDo 3D controller. And so I tried it out and it didn't work. I'm like, this sucks. It's not. I don't understand why it's not working. I'm holding the buttons down. I'm doing everything it says, and it wasn't working. I'm like, is this bad information? Is it an issue with the Analogue 3D? Is it an issue with the controller? I wasn't sure. And so I actually have a couple physical N64 controllers that I got from like a local game store just to support them. Like, I don't know if it was like 3 or 5 years ago, and I haven't cleaned them. I meant to like get an N64 set up a while ago, so I got the controllers there, just kind of support. I'm like, this is something like I need eventually. So I have a couple controllers, but yeah, they're not clean. They're kind of grimy. And as I whipped, I'm not even bringing them out for the video because they're gross. I haven't cleaned them yet. I have a big controller cleaning project I need to do with a lot of them. So I'm gonna do that all at once. But that makes me kick the can down the road over and over again. But I wanted to plug it in because I'm like, is it? Do I really need a real controller? Is it an issue with the 8-bit Do controller? Is it the Analog 3D? And I plugged that in, and it worked. And so that really led me to believe, like, it's the 8-bit Do controller. And so I messaged 8-bit Do on X. I sent them a support email. They probably don't care. But yeah, something about the 8-bit Do controller. And if I had to guess, I'm pretty sure that the arrows are like, it's treating it as like another thumbstick or something. It makes no sense. And like I guess I have not tested anything with like simultaneously pressing the buttons. And that's how you have to like delete save files too. I couldn't do that either. It's really weird. But I did want to make sure that it was like that controller in general, or if it was like the physical. Like, I still didn't really understand like why there would be a difference. Like, they're just buttons, right? That's why I think it's like something like that. It's actually using like analog input. I don't know. It's really stupid. But at the time, I still wanted to like thoroughly test because like I'm a software developer. Troubleshooting's in my nature. Like, I really needed to know why this wasn't working with the 8-bit Do controller, and so like I wanted to try the NSO controller. I'm like, this is an official control, like N64 controller. Is it going to work on this? But at the time, they haven't released the firmware update on the Analog 3D to support the NSO controller. So I did buy a blue retro adapter off of Amazon. It was like $30, and it worked. I was able to plug this in, use the NSO controller, which is something like I wanted to be able to do anyway. If I wanted to get like maybe I'm in the mood to just use this controller, right? And wireless is nice. And it worked. I was able to use actually unlock the cars. And so yeah, then I ended up playing with it, and so like, since there were so many races, that changed everything. That now, instead of 4 cars to unlock everything, now I have 7 cars to unlock everything. And I was like, I really need to see, like, since this is like a secret like cheat code, like locked behind a cheat code, am I able to, like, did they really do it? Did they give unlocks to these secret cards that they don't even tell you about? And it turns out they did. So like, as I'm playing through easy, I was like, okay, let's mix it up. Let's do the 14 races with the Analog 3D controller, and let's do some races with the N64 controller, and we'll do automatic on the N64 controller, and then manual on the N64 controller. We'll do automatic and manual each on the 3D controller. And so I kind of just made it fun like that. And then also, like, let's do first person on this controller, then third person on that controller. And so just to give it some more variety, because, eventually it's the same courses over and over again. And there was like just so many racing to do. And yeah, so that ended up helping me get a lot more gameplay out of this game and doing a lot more of these test use cases. I actually feel like I do like the Analog 3D controller more than the N64 controller. I don't know. I've just been like kind of keeping up with modern gaming as time goes on. I should like the N64 controller better on paper, but I don't know. This thing's kind of heavy and bulky, and like it just feels a little uncomfortable in my hands for like long play sessions. And something about the steering, like I was better with this. So it ended up being like later on in my playthrough, I kind of ditched using this N64 controller in general, but I would still have to like plug in my my blue retro adapter and hook it all up, and then do the first race, Golden Gate Park, with the N64 controller. And like I said, I'm like not good with this controller playing this game. Something about the stick is tight, like it's different. I'm like, I was used to this one and I prefer it. Like some people, like when I see with the arcade racing games with the review of this controller, they don't like this controller and says it's too sensitive, but I actually thought it was fine. Like maybe that's me, and maybe I haven't played enough arcade racing games. There might be games that I prefer this controller. I don't know. I've only played 3 games on the Analog 3D, right? And of course, they released a patch on the Analog 3D to actually support the NSO controller, so I no longer actually technically need the blue retro adapter. And when it was in my return window, I could have returned it back to Amazon, but it was $30, and I guess technically I can mess around with using like a PS5 controller or something. I have no idea how that button mapping works with this thing, and maybe I get an N64 someday, a real one, and then I want to like use this for the NSO controller for wireless. I don't know. I'll just keep this. It's whatever. And I'm kind of lazy. I don't like updating the firmware in the Analog is kind of a pain, and there's nothing like too crazy I feel like I need or anything. I don't really care about my playtime tracking or anything. So yeah, whatever. I'll update it later, and I have this that'll get me by for now. And yeah, so just like playing it over and over again, I learned like so many different things, like little funny things too that I feel like were more interesting. Like in first person, if you're playing on Indiana or Iowa, you get hit on the windshield with bugs and bird poop, and I just thought that was hilarious. Someone who's lived his whole life in the Midwest, I just thought that was just driving, but maybe it truly is like just a Midwest thing. Uh, I noticed that in Redwood Forest, there's no traffic in the forest area, no matter what difficulty you're playing on. There's just no traffic, and so yeah, I don't know. They must have thought that was really hard with those turns, but yeah, there's nothing better than flying through the redwood forest and hitting those turns perfect and not falling off the track. That's a lot of fun. Or like in Chicago, there's a lot of support beams in the tunnel and in the area after the tunnel. I don't know if there's like an overhead like train or something like that, but there's a bunch of support beams, and I don't know if this messes with like the AI with the traffic, but they're swerving in the other lanes are crazy. I don't know if that's just like because it's Chicago and there's bad Chicago drivers. It's just like I just thought it was really funny. But Chicago for sure is my least favorite track in the game because of that traffic and just those support beams. It's just ridiculous. Um, yeah, and then just like also, uh, I guess what really lost the magic for me. So I did not end up actually finishing my goal of, unlocking all the cars. I have like I would have to go through the 14 courses, I think like seven and a half more times. I'm almost done with the medium difficulty. I'm like halfway through one of them, and I'm sitting here and I'm just like, oh man, like should I keep grinding Cruis'n USA, or like at this point I kind of feel like I have my fill and I don't really want to like hit burnout. And that whole like goal I had of unlocking all the cards, like that's just like arbitrary, right? Like that's just me saying like I want to beat the game, and the whole point of that was just to play the game more than just like one weekend and just like quickly knocking video. Like I'm not gaming and doing this to make YouTube videos, right? Like I'm not like recording my gameplay footage. There's no proof if I got all the unlocks. I could tell you right now, I unlocked all the cars. Yeah, sweet. It's like, and you just take my word for it. Like, who cares? Like, that's not the story though. That's not what happened. Like, I'm stopping. I'm ready to move on from this game. And I think that's just kind of like, I don't know, that's like a healthy balance. I feel like to like, I'm not doing this for achievements, or like, if there were achievements, I'd probably keep pushing, which is stupid, right? Like, I don't want to burn out and like be sick of this game. Like I'm here, like I'm nostalgic for this game, right? Like, I didn't remember anything about this game going into this, but like as I'm playing it, I'm hearing the music and everything, and it's all coming back to me. Like I feel like I remember every single song from this game. They were just hidden in my brain, and it's great. And now I'm playing it again in 2026. I'm feeling nostalgic for it, but like I want to create a new nostalgic memory for 20 years in the future if I like revisit this again, right? And I don't want that memory to be burnt out and like, oh man, I hate that game. It's such a grind. It doesn't need to be a grind, right? Like I didn't get all the cars unlocked, but it's like whatever. But the biggest reason why like I'm like kind of stopping is the magic's kind of gone, right? This is an arcade racer. And so as I was playing, I just like noticed some things. This was on the medium difficulty, of course, but like I noticed that I feel like I always beat a track. If I was stuck on it and I didn't finish it, I always beat it on my third or fourth time. And this is an arcade racer, right? So that meant that this game used to be like an arcade machine at arcades, and you'd put quarters in and you'd play the game. And so like, there's the countdown. You have like 60 seconds to get to the next checkpoint, but it's like it's so easy to get the next checkpoint. Like there's like almost no reason for this countdown other than it being an arcade game. And they don't, you put a quarter into play, and you don't want someone just sitting there hugging the machine. You want them to get a game over, so they have to put another quarter in. And if they're just sitting there not driving and getting to the checkpoint, they could have that machine locked up indefinitely, and you want to keep like money flowing in, right? And so, and also, if you get first place, you get a free race and move on to the next one. But it's in the interest of the game to not let them win, but they want to, hopefully want them to go through the entire 14 courses of the USA and like finish the game. And so you want them to put another quarter in. And so if you know anything about arcade games like claw machines, they typically have like a payout system where like the claw, like, yeah, you need skill to line it up and get the prize, but then like also the claw might just arbitrarily not be tight enough to hold to like be able to pick up the prize. You kind of have to keep grinding at it until it's enough money's been accepted, enough spins on the machine have been played that it would give a payout. And I kind of felt that with this game, because like sometimes you'd be in like second place and the car be in front of you, and you'd might have the match speed, and you'd be going for like 3 or 4 checkpoints, and you you can't catch up. No matter what you do, you can have the best lines. You'd be driving the best lines, and nothing would happen. You'd have to try to like. You just can't win. You can't do it. And there'd be times where, and so I like theorize this. I'm like, is there, but there'd be other times that you'd be like flying past and win by like a mile, and you could like crash and like lose like 20 seconds. You crash like 3 times in first place, and they would never catch up. And like I like theorized that there might have been some kind of like speed manipulation thing, and so I started giving them like a 10-second head start. And if you can't catch up because you're so close, then giving a 10-second head start, like you shouldn't be able to catch up. But like no matter how long of a head start you give them, you always catch up to the pack. And this is an arcade game, right? So it's like they want you to have fun. They want you to be caught up with the pack and everything. And so, but I couldn't figure out any kind of speed manipulation going on. Like I was thinking maybe it slows them down, but that never happened. I had inconclusive data if that would like really work. I just really think there was like some kind of payout system, and so like the fourth time, like even if you're not in first place, it could be your fourth time playing, and there'd just be miracle crashes where it's like they just start crashing like crazy with the traffic, and somehow you'd win, and I'd be sitting there in like fourth place at like the last checkpoint, and I wouldn't give up because I'm like there could be a miracle crash, and then they crash and I get first place. And so it lost some magic. That whole difficulty thing of medium and hard, I like no longer felt like it was my skill overcoming a difficulty. It felt like it was becoming payout, and then at that point it was just kind of grindy. I did a couple sessions where I put headphones in, and I just turned it into like I'm gonna chill and listen to music and listen to like the newest Poppy album. I think she rocks. Those last 2 Poppy albums, I think they kick ass. So like shout out to that. And I'm just like listening to some music and playing, and it turned into like I'm like no longer like it's almost like for the achievement just to say like I completed this goal. And again, that's starting to feel really arbitrary. Like I feel like moving on, and I think that's okay. And so yeah, it was just like a really fun experience, but also like there's just like some crazy stuff too. Like I said, so much nostalgia came back, and just like some of these things like you can't believe. And so like at the end of every race, for example, I got it up here. Trophy girl shows up, right? And so she's coming up, and like remember, I first played this game when I was like 3 years old, and I'm just like, damn, dude, like look at her, like she's hot, she is fine. Look at those pixels going. And I'm like, if this game came out in 2026, this would be censored, right? Like she looks too good. And it was kind of, and I actually found out that this game actually on N64 is censored. The arcade version, she's in a bikini. And it's funny because like the background characters, like they're in bikinis. You have these shirtless guys. I mean, this game's hot, right? This game's hot. It's sexy. You have the house, like the house mix song. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Like, I mean, dude, this game is sexy, man. And so yeah, it's just funny. It's like I'm like, I guess this is why I like Stellar Blade, because I was 3 years old playing this game, and it was just funny. I was thinking like that this would be censored in 2026, and it probably still would be censored in 2026. But it was censored on the N64 version. But what's even more crazy, and the thing that I couldn't believe, is like when I'm looking up the Wikipedia for this, and then like with the trophy girl stuff, she's actually like she was an adult entertainment star, like actress, which is hilarious. That's just like, I don't know, they would not, I feel like they would not do that in modern gaming, have an actual like an adult entertainment actress be featured like in a video game. It's just hilarious and unbelievable, and just I don't know how far we have fallen in gaming, right? I just thought that was just like a funny little thing at this game. Trivia, I suppose. So yeah, Cruis'n USA. It's a lot of fun. Definitely give it a try. I feel like if you play this game, don't just play for a weekend. Do what I did. Go and play it over and over again. I personally really preferred first person. I've also, with the Analogue 3D, tried turning off the CRT filters and just playing it clean, and I felt like I was going to throw up. All right, this is after I already got my eye for the game, and with the speed in first person. First person feels so fast. I actually have grown to really like F1. And so, that speed, I don't know, I felt like I was really close to the ground when I was in first person mode, going really fast. And at first it was kind of like making me a little nauseous, but then I got my eye for it. But when I turned off those CRT filters, ooh, not good. So, I mean, if you're playing this like on an emulator or something, and if you don't have a way to get CRT filters, like, Like I don't think this game was enjoyable and clean. But maybe your eye's different than me. But yeah, I think like you can get a lot of a lot of time out of this game with it still being fun, and then yeah, eventually, like, it did become stale, and that's any video game, right? And I think it was important, and me leaving this off on a good note, right? If I kept playing and went through the Cruised the USA 7 more times, I think I'd be burnt out, especially on hard mode, where I'm guessing that the only difference is it's gonna be harder payout. So I feel like that instead of winning every like third or fourth time, I'm gonna have to keep grinding every level like 6 or 7 times. And again, like I feel like I deep down feel like there's a payout system here. And so I no longer feel the drive that I'm gonna accomplish anything by beating hard mode other than like I sat there grinding. Um, yeah, I don't know, but it's a fun game. It's very nostalgic, and I'm sure there are better arcade racers on the N64. I mean, this is the first of 3 cruising games alone, and there's other arcade racers too. And so, just like, I don't know, start from the bottom, right? So, if you're revisiting N64, if you can get enjoyment out of this game, then I'm probably gonna get enjoyment out of other ones too. But yeah, I'm ready to mix it up, and I was micro gaming it for months. It's been like 2 months, and that's kind of been my micro game going on, like ever since I finished Star Wars Shadow of the Empire. And it's been nice because it's like not every game needs to be like story focused or anything. It was the perfect game to micro game, but I'm ready to mix it up, right? And yeah, so if you enjoyed the content, let me know. If you enjoy these videos, these videos don't do super well, but I enjoy making them because these are what I'm playing. And if you're watching this segment of the video and haven't clicked off yet, then yeah, I hope you've been enjoying it. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.